death of a sweeperman. I called my closest friends, and we circled the wagons for the weekend. I got a knock on my door at 9 a.m. on Saturday. It was my good friend Gil with a handle of Crown Royal. "How are you?" My voice was devoid of all emotion. "She's gone." "I know, man. I'm here. Thanks." And no words were said for the next 2 hours. Just drinking, chain smoking, and listening to rock music 2 clicks past way too fucking loud. Eventually, more friends showed up. We drank and yelled and drank and cried and drank and laughed and drank. We plowed through liquor like it was going out of style. And at the conclusion of the weekend, I dried up, washed up, and that was it. That's how I grieved. Since I was slated to go back to school, I walked into the office with a resignation letter in hand. I tapped on the boss's door. "Come in, Bruiser." "Hi, boss. I heard about your girlfriend, I'm so sorry." "Thank you." Slides letter across the desk. "Going back to school?" "Yes, I am. This is my 2 weeks." "Good. You don't belong here." Thanks. What I mean is that everyone comes into this job either going down or coming up. It takes longer for some people to come back up than others. You're one of the best, and you'll be missed. Thanks." I walked out and Jim was waiting outside. "You're leaving?" "Yeah. So, that means you have 2 full weeks left?" "That's about the short of it. This is going to be fun." "What do you mean?" "You can do whatever you want out there without anyone doing shit." "What are they going to do? Fire you?" You bring up a good point. I know. I grabbed my gear and got ready for the night. I started up the truck and Jim's words echoed in my head. "You can do whatever you want without anyone doing shit. Whatever you want." The following 2 weeks were the height of my insanity. If you thought that the previous stories were out of control, well, just wait and see. Bombs away. I called up my buddy Scott, the one who was in the army. "Bruiser, you nut, what's going on, man? Remember when you told me that you had some things left over from your last tour? Maybe. What are you looking for? How about I just meet you at your place?" "No problem, I'll be here for a few more hours." It was a few hours before my shift, and I rolled over to Scott's house. I gabbed with his wife for a little bit and Scott and I eventually ended up in his garage. "So, what are you looking for?" "Smokers." "Wow. I wanted to see what you had." He pulled a box out from under a workbench. "Low-tox screening grenades. Used either in training simulations and for covering advancing friendlies. Low-tox means the shit isn't going to hurt you like CS will." He pulled one out of the box. "Easy to use. Hold the spoon, pull the pin, and roll it away. It'll cook off as soon as you throw it, so there's no delay." "Very good." He picked up a bag and threw 4 of them. "And how much do I owe you?" "Not a thing. I don't even know what you're going to do with them. Knowing you, I don't want to know. Just forget about where you got them, okay?" "You're a sweetheart, you know that?" "Oh well, thanks, Bruiser. If I were gay, I still wouldn't sleep with you." "Don't ask, don't tell." "Exactly." We shot the shitta for a while. I had one more stop to make, so we parted ways. I drove over to JD's house and knocked on the door. "Hey, man. What's up?" "Hey, I was wondering if I could borrow a few things tonight." "Sure, what do you need?" "You know that strobe light you rigged up to plug into a cigarette lighter?" "Sure do. It's out in the garage." "What else do you need?" "That portable amplifier thing you bought at a yard sale last year. Do you still have it?" "Damn man, what are you getting into?" "You don't want to know. Yeah, I've got it. Remember? We rigged it up to play your iPod." "Oh, I remember it." We searched for the stuff, found it, and loaded it up. I bid farewell and ran over to the office. I was thinking about the 31 flavors of revenge I was about to exact. A grin spread across my face as I pulled into the office. Bombs away Part 2, a plan comes together. Bryce rolled to a stop beside me. "So, how many people have told you that they don't want to know what you're doing?" "Oh, just about every single person." "Do you want to know? Is it going to harm any property person, or yourself? No. Then I don't want to know. I owe you for Lucy, so here you go. He pulled out a small box from the back. Just like you asked for. 2 road flares. They were written off of the inventory, so they don't exist. Thanks. Just do me a favor and be safe. Always. I checked my watch. 2 hours until show time. I said goodbye and rolled over to Gil's apartment. Everything is in my room. Let me go get it. He ran into his room and came back out with a garment bag. He zipped it open so I could take a look. Oh, this is good. Gil was into theater and making movies. A replica Roman centurion costume was in the bag. He flipped over the helmet and showed me the inside. The fake blood is in this bag with a small tube that hangs out here. He picked up another long tube and connected it to the side. Pretty straightforward. This small plunger is spring-loaded. Squeeze the button here and the blood comes out here. Keep pumping it for more blood. I took the liberty of attaching a nozzle on the end to give you a nice spray. Thank you so much, man. You're a big help. I owe you big time. We'll just call it even for the incident down in Daytona. Deal. I stashed the bag in the truck and looked at my watch. Not too long now. Not too long. In the recent weeks, I had been having a problem with a group of goth kids hanging out at one of my properties. One night they egged my truck. Another night, they destroyed the parking lot, and it took me 2 hours to do a half-hour job. I had been taking it easy on account of the fact that Jen was trying to tone me down a little bit. Now that she was gone, well, I let loose with all guns blazing. Payback is a bitch. A cold, heartless, uncaring bitch. Jim met me over there. Okay. The parking lot's lights are on a timer. They go off in 15 minutes. I'll park my truck blocking the entrance. You don't have to do this, you know. I know that. I'm just tired of not getting a chance to see the show. Well, you'll have a front row seat. Jim kept a lookout while I changed into the Centurion costume. I slung the PA system over my shoulder and plugged it into the iPod. I then plugged the strobe in and set it on the dash. I flipped the switch on and off, testing it out. I laid out my arsenal of smokers and road flares in the passenger seat. Excellent. I could hear shitty goth music from around the front of the parking lot. A shout here and there, a random fuck off, thrown in. Oh yeah, this was going to be good. About that time, the parking lot lights went out. Jim pulled around and blocked the entrance and exit, effectively sealing off the lot. 5 minutes later, it was show time. It was completely pitch black as I slowly eased my truck around the corner. I could see about 25 or 30 goth kids with their cars circled up. I saw all sorts of dancing in the circle with Marilyn Manson blaring out of a boombox. I caught a portion of a conversation. Oh man, I'm so fucking high right now. I know, man. I think we're all still tripping pretty hard. I couldn't believe my luck. It doesn't get much easier than this. I threw the truck into gear and sped off to the circle of cars. I turned the lights off and did laps around the circle of cars. I started pulling the pins on the smokers and throwing them out of the window. The goth kids were too baked to do anything but stare. I pulled away from the circle, completely hidden by the smoke. I flipped on the strobe. I hopped out and hit play on the iPod. Master of Puppets started blaring out of the PA system. I popped the 2 flares and started running toward them. It looked like the fucking apocalypse. Metallica blaring, strobe light, smoke, and road flares all going off at once. I ran toward them at full steam and shouted, "I am the Dark Lord here to reap your souls." Holy fucking shit, what's going on? You have fucked with the wrong person. Prepare yourselves for the battle. I ran through the smoke and chucked the road flares at them while pulling the sword from the sheath. They were running into each other and falling down on the pavement, too scared to get up. I stood over a group of them. War guy. I jammed the plunger down and sprayed them with blood. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. What the fuck is happening? I made like I was ripping at my face, standing over a goth girl, spraying her with fake blood and pointing the sword at her. Please? Please? Oh fucking Christ, please. You. You have sinned. I'm going to rip your steaming fucking guts out. I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you fucking pay. No. Oh God. Are you ready to die? Are you fucking ready to atone for your sins? Oh fuck, I want to live. Please. I had never seen terror like this before. They actually thought they were going to die at my sword. Most of them had regained their footing and had started to hop into cars. I tore the helmet off, with my face covered in blood. I dropped to my knees and screamed. Ergaia. Screaming. Squealing of tires. I stood up, cut the music, and watched them ram each other's cars as they got to the blocked entrance. Little did I know, Jim was getting in on the act. He had a Richard Nixon mask on with glow sticks taped to the sides. I am not a crook. I am not a fucking crook. Eventually, cars started hopping the curb and peeling out down the road. I could hear screaming 4 blocks away and fading fast. Jim drove over with a roll of paper towels and helped me clean the fake blood off and stow the costume and gear. We cleaned up like nothing had ever happened. I heard from a reliable source that I showed up at the height of a 36-hour LSD trip. Some of the goth kids didn't leave their room for 2 days. All of this was the first night of my last 2 weeks. Mission accomplished. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe.